Good morning. We're going to look at the restoration of Peter, John 21:15 through 23. Now, the whole point of the catching the fish, of the eating the fish, of having the time is this. When they finished eating, Jesus said, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" "Yes, Lord," Peter said. "You know I love you." Now, after breakfast, Jesus spoke directly to Peter. Jesus had already met with Peter individually on the day of his resurrection. We could only wonder what Jesus and Peter were going to talk about at their first meeting. Nevertheless, it's important that Jesus wants to restore Peter in the presence of the other disciples. They knew he was the one that betrayed Jesus and said he didn't know Jesus. Jesus addresses the leader of the disciples, and he calls him Simon. He doesn't call him Peter. Perhaps a reminder that Jesus made him the rock, and he went back to being Simon. He asked him to compare his love for Jesus and the other disciples had for Jesus. He had denied Jesus 3 times. He was going to ask 3 times, "Do you love me?" It says, "Then feed my lambs," Jesus asked again. "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" "Yes, Lord, you know I love you. Take care of my sheep." Jesus asked again, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was hurt because he asked him the same question 3 times. "Lord, you know everything. You know I love you. Then feed my sheep." Jesus asked the question using the word, "Do you love me?" Are you willing to lay down your life? Agape is the word, giving, unselfish love. Peter answered, "I phileo you. You're my buddy. You're my friend. I have an affection for you. I'm there for you." Didn't say I would die for you. After Jesus asked, Peter answered twice. Peter is instructed to act toward God's people by feeding them, by taking care of them. 2 previous questions Jesus asked Peter in the presence of the disciples. Not enough to accomplish what Jesus wanted to do with Peter's life. He asked him a 3rd time. Peter understood the significance of the question being asked a 3rd time. And the 3rd time, Jesus asked, are you really my friend? And this is what bothered Peter, because he had gone to that point. He had not gone to the point of saying he would die for Jesus. He said, "I am your friend. I am there for you." The restoration to Jesus is a process. It's not an event. We call it sanctification. Nice fancy word, means being set apart. Jesus needed to ask, we need to ask ourselves the same thing. If you're there having a fish dinner, do you really love Jesus? And again, this is the process of relationship, and it will take your lifetime.